Shout out to my Patreon supporters Arturo Banda, Isaac Santiago, and many more for making this video possible. What's going on YouTube? CALSOSCOPED back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down this project file I made of the Golden State Warriors versus the Boston Celtics for the NBA Finals. This was all done in Photoshop. You guys can always check out my project files as a member of my Patreon. So what we can begin with is the background, and then I'm just gonna build up the layers as we go. It might not go in alphabetical or not alphabetical order. It might not go in chronological order as you see on the right. It'll just go as what I feel, but we'll see what I feel like is necessary. So let's start with the background though. I really just went into this project kind of free with it, but for this background, I just knew I wanted to have a lot of mountains in it for it to be a nice landscape. So this big rock is a standing platform. That was the first image that I used. And you guys see, this is the original image, the OG picture. So this is just a nice picture from Unsplash. And then I was able to put some things on it. So I wanted to bring it down because I wanted to bring the value down because it was going to be closest to the viewer. And as you know, if there's a light source and we're farthest away, that's going to be darkest to the viewer. So I made sure I did that first. And then I added some exposure because whenever I do something that's really dark, I still want to have a little bit of bounce light, because you're still going to have a little bit of bounce light, and it gives the image that little bit of substance that it needs, or the subject, it gives it a little bit of substance that it needs. And a great thing that you can use when you're doing this is using blending options, and you guys see how blending options works, and it gives you that blending gradient that you kind of need to have on your images. It just gives it more of that authentic look, that more realistic look. Then the green, this was actually done later, but this is just some of the green highlights that I had from this green mist that is behind the rock. So that's the big green light. This big green light is literally it's just a green layer, and then it just has some linear dodge on it. And then these other parts are just all other assets from Unsplash that I used and cut out. And I just really liked the way that this landscape kind of came together. It was just a process of putting everything together as smoothly as possible. Always have a little bit of haze. You have a little bit of haze over the trophy. As things go farther into the background, they're gonna always have some haze. So that's a breakdown of the background pretty quickly. Actually, let me show you the sky. This is what the sky began as. Okay, so it was just a mix of just one or two images, and then I just added a gradient map because I wanted to get that orangey yellow color from the Warriors. So that's the gradient map right there, and then you guys see how it just contrasts with the green. So that's really what I was aiming to do. This is the second mask. This is the Curry. This is the back mask. I've been having a lot of fun experimenting with lighting. So if I bring this down to the original, this is the original picture, and then I add things like brightness and contrast. If you guys seen my new player treatment video, I'll link that in the top right. You guys can check that out, and you guys can understand how to do my player treatment. But then after that, I go in with curves, bring the overall image adjustments down in terms of the value, because he's going to be a little bit darker than he was. Brightness and contrast, and then I can really just go in and I start building. Eventually I get there, right? So I add that green. This is a big layer. The green hue from that light starts blending everything together, man. And this is the shadow that's going to be from Jason Tatum that's hitting off of Stephen Curry. Then Jason Tatum did the same exact thing, so no need to really open that one, but that's that layer there. Added some haze over the top of everything from the actual green light, and that really gave it a little bit of substance. And then this is a foreshadow layer, so this is literally just a black layer, and it's on normal. You could put it on multiply if you really wanted to, just so you make sure it's always going to be darker than whatever it's on. That's what multiply is for. This is the Jason Tatum mask. Did the same type of deal where I did his retouching. Let's just see the build-up. Let you guys see the build-up. So this is what it started out as. Got some color bounce on there. Did our retouching, curves, bringing on those lights. That inner shadow converted to a layer, and that underneath that bottom layer of light heading down on the bottom. Once again, it's on normal. You can put it on multiply, really up to you. Since it is black, it doesn't really matter too much. I did the same thing with Curry. One thing I might do with him is maybe make him a little bit brighter if I was to do this again, but I think he looks pretty good there. Then I added some more haze. This is what I just called moss haze. So this was like the yellowy orange haze, and then this is the greenish haze. This is the rock in front that's blurred out. I always like to add a little bit of depth in my scene, so I always try to get something that's going to be in the foreground that blurs it. It just is the automatic gimme for the viewer's eye, and it just looks really good for the viewer's eye. So I just blurred out a rock, right? And there's the rocks right there. Add a little bit of hue on them. And this is the original rock, right? So nothing crazy, just some normal rocks, man. And then we just blur them out in the foreground. Always just gives it a nice feeling of depth. And then this is the bottom text here. This the finals right here. This is a nice layer style. And you guys know, you guys can get layer styles like pretty much anywhere, but you know, if you do have this project file, you'll be able to get the layer style. You just go to blending options, and then with layer styles, you can literally just save them like as a new style. You can save layer styles, which is really cool, man. A lot of people don't use layer styles and they'll just go right into like the 3D, but like a lot of times a layer style can get done what you need. It can get a lot done. It's not a 3D element, but it can make things look 3D. And before you want to rush to a 3D object, sometimes just learn a layer style. It's pretty cool. So that's gonna do it for the bottom text. And then moving on, this was my color corrections. I always try to go crazy with color corrections and just make it look really good. So this is the color lookup that I put on here. Curves, selective color, brightness, brighten that thing up. Another color lookup. This is like a vignette. I don't know what they call it. And then there's one more brightness layer. Okay. Added the team logos onto this file. So the Celtics one and the Warriors. Made sure I got the black logo to match the jersey. Just always trying to think about my colors. Think about your colors when you're doing things and how it's gonna match. And then this is the final rendition. So I hope you guys like this quick breakdown of this finals Celtics versus Warriors template that I have here. I appreciate you guys tuning in to another video. Let me know what you guys want to see from me on the channel. If you guys want to see more tutorials, I do have the jersey swap part 3, which is the final part, on the way soon. But let me know down in the comment section below what other tutorials or videos would be helpful to you guys. And as always, guys, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Check out the Patreon where you guys can get all my project files, exclusive content, and more from me. With that being said, make sure you guys stay scoped. It's been the Artists and Athletes CALSOSCOPED. Peace.